So hello everybody, my name is Timo Herbst. I'm in the middle of the show of mine and Marcus Nebe at Salon. The show is showing drawings, animations and 3D prints. The drawings I'm doing, the animations and 3D prints I'm doing together with Marcus Nebe. We both studied in Leipzig in Germany at the same academy and are collaborating since 9 years in 3D prints, videos, and animations. And what you see here in the show is basically coming out of this long-term research. Yeah, looking into the expressions of bodies in the urban landscape of the city, what kind of gestures appear during protests or debates in public spaces. And Marcus and me, we did a lot of filming in these kind of situations. And I also did an archival research about the history, for instance, in German-speaking countries in the last 600 years, which then produced a 10-meter long drawing, which is in the show, smaller drawings, which we see, and also the 3D prints, which you see behind me, which are all coming out of these examples of these different sources. I'm standing in the middle of the 10-meter drawing, Ephemera, which depicts the development of bodies in the city in public protest debates, situations of emergencies in German-speaking countries from the last 600 years. German-speaking countries because I'm German, also Marcus is German. And I did an archival research together with an historian, Duane Corpus, and out of these sources I drew this long drawing. And what you can see is how not only the expressions of movement or body expressions are developing, but also how the style, the tools, the clothes, the representation of the whole situation, and also the topics are developing over time. Therefore, you see that the style of the drawing is kind of changing from meter to meter, and also the actions or the expressions. The smaller drawings in the show are doing basically the same as the large drawing. I always combine two situations out of history. In the smaller drawings, it's not limited to German-speaking countries' history anymore. In this case, it's further European history, even world history. For instance, in this drawing, you see like the peasant movement of the UK in the 16th century, which was an anti-feudalism movement. And you see the farmers wearing women clothes so that they get not caught by the policemen as quickly, while they were attacking fences which were put on their land to make them pay taxes. So it's an anti-feudalism movement. And connected to this, in the background of the drawing, we see the suffrage movement, the same like context, the UK, where you see like a woman chain herself at the fence of the Buckingham Palace to protest for the right to vote, which is interesting because of the representation of the women body and the rights of both situations in different times. Above it, we see 3D prints. The 3D prints I'm doing together with Marcus Nebe. And those 3D prints are coming from different sources. One source is that we are also creating like conversation groups. And when people are kind of to specific topics, for instance, singular body or collective body in society, have an expression, we would scan them. And this expression we would then print, which we then see as a 3D print. In this case, it was a Japanese person from Tokyo. And the animation is basically taking the digital form of the bodies, but it shows the internal perspective. Now we see basically movement inside the bodies, going from membrane to membrane, from gesture to gesture, and basically showing the inner landscape of a gesture. And as any gesture is sometimes more extroverted and sometimes can also be more introverted, for us those internal perspective also shows that maybe not everything has to be loud, but also can be like something which is more silent and inside our bodies and still present, which is basically the whole topic of the show, because we go from larger, more obvious symbolic gestures to less iconic or noticed movements, which are more like silent, and they are all kind of in conversation with each other in the whole exhibition and with what's happening in the world.